Yeah, the ECB has held rates as expected by traders and economists, as they're expected to, not just this year, but next year as well. Officials saying that they're in a good place when it comes to the economy. Let's see if they hold up that line at the press conference with Christine Lagarde in just under half an hour's time. But they have reiterated the language that they're not pre-committing to a particular rate path, that they're going to be data dependent when it comes to making these decisions. If you remember, the fourth quarter GDP print was better than expected, so that really gave officials cover to stand pat here, John. And you'll remember that there was all of that hype about hikes towards the end of last year, started by comments from Isabel Schnabel. The market latched onto it, but it's faded away because you've had inflation undershooting the target, euro strength actually touching 120 last week, and then, of course, the tariff threats from President Trump over Greenland. But since all of those things appear to be temporary, the inflation undershoot thought to be temporary at least, the euro rally fading somewhat, and President Trump walking back his threats, what they want is to keep full optionality. That's what officials have been saying to me, and that's what it appears they've done today.
Lizzy, can we finish on one of those things you mentioned? Just unpack the move in the euro. Briefly through 120, euro dollar this morning at 117.99. There was one central bank official on the governing council out of Austria that pushed back a little bit after we drifted past 120 in the past few weeks. Lizzy, unlike Chairman Powell in the news conference last week, will President Lagarde engage with the conversation about the FX channel?
She's certainly going to be asked about it. The Bank of France Governor François Villeroy de Gallo was asked about it, and he said that the currency moves are a factor in the monetary policy making. And if you go back to comments last July, the Vice President, Luis de Guindos, said that 120 is the level that makes policy making more complicated. And as you say, they went through that level. The problem is that when you have such euro strength, of course, it could dampen exports, it could make that inflation undershoot more persistent. But I'm sure the way that Christine Lagarde is going to frame this is they will mind what happens with the euro. They're not targeting it directly, but they see it as a channel that perhaps could affect the inflation path, and therefore they keep it in mind when they're setting rates.